Hello, everyone. This is Greg from KillerReviews.com. Hello. This is like my 10th take for this video. The last one, I flipped out at my son for interrupting me, and I feel really bad about it. So, here we go again. I think I can make it a lot shorter though. Okay, clearly I haven't been around for quite a while, right? And the biggest thing people emailed me about was my game I was working on, Curse of Sadness. People would check in with me, hey, I haven't heard about that game recently. Well, um, let me just tell you, I'm going to ramble a little bit. I have bullet points I do want to hit, but so for 10 years, I spent running Killer Reviews, right? Like almost 40 hours a week. And basically trying to balance everything else, work being a second, I shouldn't say that. Most cases, work was first for years. But I've always wanted Killer Reviews to be my job, right? And last year, it's just because of the way the internet, if the internet worked the same way it did when I started on the internet, this would be my job, right? Running KillerReviews.com. But over the years, the website's declined in traffic for the past 5 years drastically. And it's just mainly because of the way the internet works now. You basically have to pay to get any kind of search results whatsoever, right? You search horror movie reviews, we used to be first. In iTunes, we were first for movie reviews for podcasts. And then they're like, shh, we're just gonna put you under the rug and make room for these big companies who, for the Doug Loves Movies podcast, so without getting the opportunity for people to see us, to learn about us without paying for it, people just started, not coming. We didn't get new members coming in as much, and then you have to have a good flow of new people coming in to keep keeping numbers up. So last year I tried really hard to try to turn that around by streaming on Twitch. I streamed on Twitch almost every day for a year, and I had banners for Killer Reviews up. Trying to get people to listen to the podcast, and it did work. Some people did come over, but it wasn't anywhere nearly enough, and people weren't responding enough. I made a lot of YouTube videos, and people just kind of weren't responding like I wanted to happen. And I realized a lot of people tell me, "Hey, man, it's just a hobby. It's like you have a great little community, for a hobby." Well, the thing is, it was never a hobby for me. It was my dream job I was working towards, right? So last year, I just had to really, really realize it's not going to happen, and focus on making money first and foremost, making money, getting my credit report back up, being an adult, I guess. You know what I mean? Getting some kind of put aside money for the future. Do those adult things, and take some of the stress off. Because I could have worked more in the past couple of years, but I wanted to put that time to try to put it towards Killer Reviews so I could try to do what I really want to do. But last year was a very big wake up call. Dude, it's not going to happen, and that was really heartbreaking. And I really had to take a break from it, and I kind of still am. You know, that was a really big decision, but it was the best decision I probably made, honestly, in the past few years. But I do want to say the website's not dead. It's not. I still plan on doing podcasts. I still plan on having a website. I really want to take some time away from the internet and really try to focus on where I want to be and what I need to do to get there. And I really have been thinking about this for years, and I really want to have a business outside of my apartment. I want to have a retail store or a small diner restaurant cafe where you do board games, like a board game cafe. Board game cafe is a very popular thing. You just search board game cafe, you'll see a bunch of articles about how it's becoming a trend. And it's where you just basically run a cafe, right? You have coffee and pastries, and people pay to hang out at your place for the day or however many hours and play board games. And you have a whole wall of board games. But I don't know if I want to do that. I don't really like the idea of like making coffee all day, and the idea of like making espressos and lattes and foam. Like I can't stand those types of specialty coffees. So I'd like to do maybe like a bar and grill, just very small. You know, I'm currently working on a business plan, and I'm looking at locations and how much they cost, how much space I would need. One of the locations in the area is a Subway that went out of business. No. A D'Angelo's, which is a sandwich shop that went out of business. So if you think of something like a D'Angelo's, I think those are just New England, but like a sandwich shop that would make hot and cold sandwiches, like a Subway, I guess. And the idea is that it's a smaller kitchen that would just pump out like burgers, fries, hot dogs, grilled cheese, and best case scenario, at least a couple beers on tap. And the idea is that you go there and you pay $5 to get in, and then you can play from a huge selection of board games, and then you can eat food while you're there. And I like the idea because I cooked for 10 years. Like I cooked in a restaurant for 10 years. I cooked in a couple of restaurants, but I'm actually a pretty good cook. And I kind of like the idea of cooking simple meals, like nothing, no steaks, right? No like salmon, um, but just kind of cook, flip some burgers and go out and mingle with people, right? And help people, um, so like a board game cafe, but a board game bar and grill or whatever. Not really bar. I don't know. Board game sandwich shop. I don't know. Right. But I don't know. I like that idea a lot. But I also like the idea of just having a retail store, like a local gaming store that sells games and that has tables out there for people to play games. But I can't stand the Magic the Gathering group. I can't stand like the people that like don't shower all the time. And they just smell, and they just have like Magic the Gathering, and they're like, and they eat Chinese food. Sounds a lot like me. But I can't. The idea of like running a game store and having these incredibly annoying, socially awkward people like hang out at your store and just annoy. Like I went to a game store a couple weeks ago and hang out there for a little bit. I literally like people talk to themselves. Like customers are just like talk to themselves. Um, and they're trying so hard to get you to talk to them, but they just can't say like hi. They have to like talk really loud to have you try to join their conversation that they're having by themselves. I don't know. Like if I hang out at a gaming store for more than like half an hour, more than one customer is going to annoy the shit out of me. So I'm kind of at a loss for that because Jesus, I can't. The idea of like running. I think if I ran a game store, there'd be a couple tables, and I would not specialize in Magic the Gathering, which sounds crazy because if you don't know, almost every gaming store specializes in Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, like all the trading cards, collective trading cards, because that's where all the money is, right? So I don't know, but I'm realizing that that's what I need to do, right? I kind of like what I do for work right now. I work with some great people, but I really just need to get out of my apartment. I need to get out, interact with people, walk the floor, help people with stuff. That needs to be the next phase of my life, right? It needs to be because I feel like I'm rotting in this apartment, honestly. Lost my train of thought. But the thing is, I don't want to just get a job somewhere. I need to do my own thing. I need to choose product. I need to run sales. I need to run the website, social media. Uh, I mean, I guess I'd work for somebody else if there was a great company in the area that would pay me 60 grand a year or whatever, and where I could do all this stuff for that involved gaming. But heads up, there's not. You know what I mean? Um, I've worked for people over the years, and what drives me nuts the most is the people above me not making good decisions, and I know they're not making good decisions, and my decision's better, but they don't do it anyway, and then and then things get fucked up or whatever. So I have to be my own boss. So a lot of the past year, I've been kind of taken away from Killer Views. It's just kind of refocusing and getting a mindset around like what makes me happy in life, what doesn't, and thinking about like where I want to go, what I need to do to get there. Um, I mean, I've also been having a lot of downtime, right? I mean, I've been playing a lot of board games, uh, bike riding recently, but in the back of my mind, it's always like, what do you want to be doing? Like, what's not making you happy? And I did realize I do need to really focus on starting a business. So, you know, when that happens, right now, like I said, I'm engrossed with the business, with working on a business plan and fine tuning ideas and stuff. Um, and I would love to talk to you guys about all that stuff in another video, which I'm sure I will, because I need lots of feedback on ideas. Um, but uh, Killer Reviews, I guess the whole point is Killer Reviews isn't it's not dead. I just can't imagine just going there and not seeing anything. So, but I think it's going to play in. Well, I know it's going to play into what I'm doing in the future, right? So if I do a retail store, the podcast is going to be there. There'll be interviews with filmmakers or gaming game designers, updates with Brain Chomper. Um, once Killer Reviews can become a positive thing for me again, I'll start doing more stuff and doing more YouTube videos. Once I very it's like cleansing. I had to cleanse, and once I can look at it in a different way, now even maybe more as a hobby than ever. As what people have been saying to me. Um, I'm really excited to get back into it, but it needs a new website, and once I do my other new business, you'll see a lot more of that coming back into my life. Okay, so wow, I'm running really long. So I do want to give an update on Curse of Sadness. I did lots of videos on that last year, and I guess I just kind of stopped, and people have been emailing me wondering whatever happened to it. So basically, the project's not dead. I spent probably like 3 months, uh, 30 hours a week on it. I mean, like I worked my butt off on that game, right? But I was getting to a point where I really wanted to like see in the actual game. I play tested it quite a bit, and I don't think it was by anywhere means like done as far as mechanic wise, how it played. But like I wanted to like actually see some of the materials finalized. Well, not finalized. I wanted to see like a board game that had real artwork. Is basically what I'm saying, right? Um, but every artist I approached, I spent a lot of time looking at various artists that I thought would be great for the project. But everybody wanted to be paid up front, right? My thought was, hey man, like you can design all this artwork, and we can go to Kickstarter. You can get whatever money you want for it, basically. Like I just want the game to get made. I don't need money for this first game. I just want people to play it. And people were like, no, 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 no. I need this much money up front. It's this much per card. And I have exclusive rights to the characters, all this bullshit, right? So that was really frustrating. And I realized, I really need like 5 grand to get some of this artwork done. Because if I'm going to go to Kickstarter, uh, I'm not gonna raise money on Kickstarter for artwork. If I'm going to Kickstarter, I'm going there once, and it's gonna be people are gonna see a video of a final game, and I also want final copies to go to places like the Dice Tower that they can cover. Um, I really want a finalized game to go to Kickstarter with, so I needed money basically. Gronith, who's in the Killer Reviews community, said that he'd do the artwork and with the option to be paid later. So I'm going to work on that with him. But I have another game idea that I wanted to explore first, and I don't have any details on it. It's just basically a kids card game. It's kind of like Clue, but with monsters. It's really not even anywhere near. The thought is nowhere near being like complete. But I started working on like some cards, so some ideas for how it would work. It's basically like a Clue game. The reason I say Clue is because it would be like a board game with different rooms, right? But but you'd have like stacks of cards in each room, and then there'd be one ghost card, and then one player would hide the ghost in one of the rooms. The other players have to track down which room the ghost is in. But the game is for kids. But I don't really have anything more than that idea. But I thought it might be smart if I'm going to make a game to start with a much smaller game. Like maybe like 30 cards in a board game, as opposed to 150 cards, a much bigger board game, pieces, resource pieces, a lot more complex game mechanics, a lot less play testing involved. So I thought it might be a good idea just to start really small and make this game first. But honestly, um, all of my little gaming endeavors, like creating a game, those are really taking a back seat. I really need to, I spent a couple years, streaming on Twitch, recording more podcasts. There was a while I went back and recording one every week or two for 6 months, making YouTube videos, like all this other, and make designing a game. All of these things I'm doing are taking away from the one focus is to get a retail location and change what I'm doing in my life. You understand? So that's what I need to work on. Not designing a game right now, not doing a podcast a week, because that's what's most important. So that's where I'm at. I think this video is gone on long enough. I'll try not to, leave comments below. I know that I really want to try to do more videos. These don't take much time at all to put together. But I guess that's it. Hope this helps clear up some people's, curiosity about what's been going on with the website, why I haven't made YouTube videos. But I guess that's it for now. But I will try to be a stranger. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.